Hi everybody, Justin here, and welcome to a reading of a science book called Living or Non-Living. Living or Non-Living. And it's written by Racheal Rice. It's written by Racheal Rice. Now, if we look really carefully at the two things that we can see on the screen here, one of these is living and one of these is non-living. Which one do you think is living? Which one do you think is living? Well, I think it is probably the dog. I would say the dog is the one that is probably living for sure. Rubber ducky, I would say, is not living. Okay, welcome to the second title page, Living or Non-Living. We know it's a question because it has a question mark at the end there. And the focus question for this book is, how can you tell if something is living or non-living? How can you tell if something is living or non-living? It's a great question. Let's look at the pictures on here. We have a soccer ball, and we have a soccer ball. There we go, and a little baby chick. So I wonder which one is living or non-living. Which is living and non-living? Okay, some words to know in reading this book. Every book is going to have some language that is particular to that topic. And to understand all of this book, we need to know these words. We need to know these words. So we have words like, we have words like alike, alike. Alike means when two things have similar qualities, similar things that are the same on two different things. They are alike. The word battery. Well, a battery is something that powers my phone. A battery can store energy. And we can take then that energy with us wherever we go. It's portable energy is a battery. We don't have to plug something into a wall if we have a battery. Cells. Your body is made of cells. Cells are like these tiny little building blocks that knit everything together. Cells. This word, living, well, that's what we're going to explore in this book. Spot. Yeah, a spot is like a particular point. It's a particular point, you know. So I have a spot right here on my wrist. Spot. Oh, and the last word is tricky. Yeah, tricky. If something is tricky, it's a little bit hard. It's a little bit challenging. So those are some of the words to know as we go through this book. Okay, so now we turn our attention to the table of contents. And because this is a non-fiction book, we don't necessarily read it from the very first page to the final page. What we have to do is, if we're doing some research or we want to learn about something in particular, we can just look up the page number and turn to that particular part of the book. So if I wanted to read about dead things, I would turn to page 11. If I wanted to compare living and non-living things, I would turn to page 7. But what we're going to do is turn to page 4 first, because the introduction introduces the book and tells us a little bit more information about what it is that we're going to read. So let's do that now. Okay, so introduction. How can you tell when one thing is living and another is not? The brown bear is a living thing. The toy robot is not. Okay, so welcome to living and non-living things. This is how we can tell if something is living or non-living. Okay, so let's have a look here. Living things are alike in important ways. Alike, there is the word to know. You need to know this word because alike means they have some things that are the same. Okay, you and I, we both have two eyes. You and I, we both have two ears. We are alike. Okay, living things all grow. That's true. You were once a baby. I was once a baby. We have grown. And I'm continuing to grow. We all continue to grow. And flowers grow. Flowers grow from a seed, and then they turn into a flower. So there's that. Okay? And living things make more things like themselves. So we make babies, and flowers spread seeds and make more flowers. So these are living things. Okay? They meaning living things, use energy. Yeah, we need energy. I get energy from food and water. They move. Yeah, I move. I go running every morning. They change. Yeah, I'm changing all the time. My hair grows and I'm getting older and I'm getting fatter. And they are made of cells. Living things are made of cells. I'm made of cells. My glasses are not made of cells. They are not made of cells. Okay. And what else is not made of cells? What is just plastic. It's not made of cells. Okay. Non-living things may be like living things in some ways. Okay, because water and fire, they're non-living. They were never alive. Okay, all right, but they may move. Water can move. All right, or it may change because the water can evaporate and become condensation and clouds. And they might use energy, and fire is energy. Okay, so they kind of seem like they are living, but they are not living at all. So they are not alike in all the ways, or they would be living things. Yeah, fire is not like water, huh? And water is not like fire. Yeah. So there you go. Okay, compare living and non-living things. So some of the ways they are different are easy to spot. The toy robot does not grow. It cannot make more things like itself. As you can see in this picture, because they are not alive, they are made in a factory, okay? It cannot reproduce itself. It has to be remade in a factory. Now, this is a very interesting page here. Have a look at this picture because we can see that the two robots do have similar features. They look alike. Let's read the text here. Some of the ways they are alike can make it tricky. There's that word to know. The toy robot does move and use energy. So these are some of the qualities of living things, but not all of them. Oh, check out these cool pictures. It has gears and a battery that help it move. Yeah. There it is, the battery, the stored energy. Okay, and of course those batteries will run out. This toy robot is not alive. Well, now here's an interesting page. Dead things. Dead things. Non-living things are not dead. All right, just take that in for a moment. Just take that in. Non-living things are not dead. Whoa. Dead things were once alive, but now are not. Non-living things were never alive. Mind blown. Non-living things were never alive. These glasses were never alive, and they are not dead. But I tell you what, man, they are cool. They are cool glasses. But yeah, so let's have a look at the picture here. We have the dead tree, and we can compare it to the living trees that are green, but are growing. Sorry, a bug. That are reproducing themselves. They're alive, but not this dead tree. But here is this very interesting idea that non-living things are not dead because they were never alive. Okay, so here we are at the conclusion where we wrap up all of our learning from this book. And I include myself in this group of living and non-living things. Am I living or non-living? Anyway, conclusion. Figuring out if something is living or non-living can be fun. Which of these things are living or non-living? What about the car? Is it living or non-living? The kittens and the cat, living, non-living. The scissors, living or non-living. The carrots, living or non-living. Oh, the coal. The coal is a good one because coal is made up of thousands and millions of dead plants and animals piled on top of each other and compressed down and pushed down after millions of years. It's an interesting one. What about time? Is time living? Is this clock living? Anyway, these are all good questions. Well, guys, that wraps up this reading of the book, Living or Non-Living. I certainly hope you enjoyed it. I did. It got me thinking. Here are some additional activities that you can do to further your learning. For writing, you could choose one living and one non-living thing. Write about how they are the same and how they are different. Yeah, that sounds like a cool thing. Maybe compare a soccer ball and some baby chickens. And in science, maybe cut out some pictures from magazines, sort them into living and non-living groups, and paste them onto your paper. Yeah, and you can hang them up somewhere and keep reminding yourself about what's living and non-living. All right, guys, well, that's it. This is me, Justin, Mr. Justin, saying thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.